What's up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. Guys, bear with me. I've been fighting a cold now for the better part of a week, so, that's the reason why I'm wearing the hood and everything. It's keeping me from catching those chills, man. And listen, guys, if you want to wish me well, thank you. Thank you for that. I accept well wishes, regardless of race and religion and gender and all that, and I have to say that. It's a shame that you have to say that these days, but apparently that's the way it has to be, especially looking at this story right here that I want to talk to you about, because this is where we are in today's world now. You can't even wish somebody well. You can't even send them your well wishes without being apparently the same race as them. If you're white, you could be considered making it all about you, or about, your own privilege and everything. So I figured I would talk about this because isn't it funny? Isn't it strange? Isn't it odd? Isn't it peculiar? In this story here, you might have seen it. Cher has been trending. Cher, Cher, from Sonny and Cher fame a long time ago. Cher, I don't need you anymore. I don't need you anymore. Cher. Okay. So anyway, she was trending. And the reason why she's trending is because, everyone has been stressed out, with this whole George Floyd, Derek Chauvin thing that's been going on, the trial that's been going on these days. Everyone is very, very emotional about this. I would say everybody who saw that video was probably traumatized some kind of way about that. You know what I mean? Like, that was a very, very brutal thing to witness, even if it was just on video, because I don't think anybody could have watched that video without thinking, why is he just kneeling on that man's neck that way? Why has he got that dumbass look on his face? What is he doing? Why can't he just get up? The man is going to die. And then when he died, it's like, holy shit, you just killed that man very, very slowly when all you had to do was get up. So it's been kind of rough for people to try to make sense of this. Even people who will tell you, yes, police have a tough job to do, and you can't judge based upon what you see. Even those people would probably be sitting there like, oh, this is a tough one to make sense out of, So I think that goes beyond race or anything else. I think that's a human thing. That's what makes this case so powerful, that it's more about humanity than a lot of the other cases you see. At the point that George Floyd was subdued, there was nothing else going on. He wasn't posing a threat that we could see. So it was just like, oh my God. So yeah, so Cher said what a lot of other people have said, including myself. If you look at a video that I did from back then, I probably said the same exact thing. Cher says on Twitter, was talking with mom, and she said, I watched the trial of the policeman who killed George Floyd and cried. I said, Mom, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I kept thinking, maybe if I'd been there, I could have helped. That's it. That's the tweet. Now, a couple of things come into my mind when I see this, all right? Number one is, how the hell old is Cher's mom? Cher is something like 98 years old. Can we get a round of applause for Cher's mother, who's got to be like 135? If she's still around, I mean, salute. What's your secret? You know what I mean? But, all that aside, which is irrelevant. All right, the other part of it would be, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with saying, I kept thinking, maybe if I had been there, I could have helped? All of us felt the same way. And when we see the video of the people who were on the sidewalk, who were yelling at the cops, they all wished the same thing. There was a cop who was standing there who was clearly acting like he was willing to shoot anybody who tried to help. But I think it's perfectly natural, to feel that way. It's a perfectly human response. But see, where we are in our society today, everything has been defined by racial, lines. So you have people who are on here who are going at Cher because she says she wishes she could have done something to help. So you got these comments here on Twitter. One person, Cher, what was your ass finna do? Okay. Let's see. You got a lot of people here who agree with what she's saying. Cher, baby, what the fuck is this? That's what somebody else says. Then you got somebody here. Let's see. Oh, yay. Another white person centering themselves around black people's pain. I wish I was there to stop you from tweeting this. This is terrible. All right. Let me see. Excuse me, ma'am, not to be disrespectful, but could you take this post down? That is my sister who was struck by a metro train, and this post is very disrespectful. I don't know who you are or if you even know her, but I need you to take this down, please. I don't get where she's coming from. It's the YT savior complex for me. There's still time to delete this. So they're calling for her to delete her comment. It's the Y people, WYPIPO, cheering you on in the comments for me. Okay, no. It's just not Y people, dumb shit. It's also people who just have a sense of decency, like me. I appreciate what Cher said. You see, if we're going to move anywhere in this society at all, we're going to start having to have sympathy and understanding and compassion for one another. And we're going to have to start showing it to other people. Now, let me tell you something you might not have thought about. You know, all these people who are bashing Cher and her white privilege and trying to make it all about her. Like, what would have happened, all right, when those paramedics got onto the scene and everything, and they come in and they're trying to save George Floyd's life, and one of you yahoos jump up and say, no, it's your white privilege that got you that job as a paramedic, and you think that you're a white savior. Get away from him. Get away from him. I mean, where does it stop? You know what I mean? Do you just not want white people to do anything for black people whatsoever, even if it's their profession? Is that what you're saying? Look at these people. Look at where they're leading us. And this is what I'm talking about how you have to head this thing off because kids are also absorbing this. This is the reason why kids are being more combative when cops come around. And ignorant people are being combative when cops come around. You know, or paramedics and things like that. The distrust that they have for white people is artificial. They've been programmed and conditioned to think that it's got to be white against black when we've long since got past that. You know, so here you have these people beating up on Cher because she said, I wish that I could have done something. Maybe, she said. She didn't say I would have been able to help. She said maybe I would have been able to help. When I did this video, I said the same thing when I did a video talking about this. I said, I'm not sure if I would have been able to stand back, if I would have had to risk my life, because I know that my son would have asked me if he knew that I had been there. He would have said, Dad, why didn't you help? And there would have been no right answer. There would have been no acceptable answer. If you're a decent human being and you see another human being getting killed slowly in front of you, yeah, there might be a point that you feel that you can do something. And who knows, unless you're actually in that position, whether you would actually act upon it or not. I said the same thing with Sandra Bland when I saw her on the side of the road mouthing off like an idiot to that white cop. Shut up! That's what I would do. I would do that for her. I would do that for my sister. I would do that for any one of you who are out there. I would tell people all the time, stop. It doesn't always have to be about the confrontation. If you're talking about the preservation of life, of innocent life, that's something that speaks to every human being. And you have to be able to accept that. Your tribalism has no place here. You're trying to save lives. You're trying to make yourself seem more human, not separate yourself. The human equation is the powerful thing. That's what they're afraid of. Why do you think all of these pains are being taken to separate audiences these days in films and everything? They want us to be divided. They want us to not have a sensibility towards our diversity. That's what's going on here. No matter what you see on TV, no matter what you see in these dumbass commercials, talking about this and that and, we're all one and stuff. They don't mean that. The only way we can affect change is on the ground level with each one of us. And as long as you have idiots like this who are going to rake somebody over the coals for actually wishing somebody well, we have a shit ton more to do, a lot more work to do, to bring ourselves to the point where we can actually help one another and accept one another and grow and not be like so easy to manipulate out here the way that we have been. But anyway, that's how I feel about that, guys. You can get in the comment section. You can let me know. How do you feel? Do you think there was something wrong with what Cher said that maybe she could help? I mean, listen, from her very first song, Cher is being consistent. She said, if I could turn back time. She's saying right there, if I could find a way. That's what she's saying. It's consistent. I take back those words that will hurt you and you stay. You know what I mean? She's saying that. She's always been that way. If I could change things. That's the way she thinks. So what are you blaming her for? Anyway, get in the comment section and let me know how you feel about this. As always, you can like, you can share, you can subscribe, you can catch me on Twitter. The link will be in the description below, as well as a Cash App. Thank you very much. I'll catch you on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.